Hello, everybody. Welcome to the LDR Podcast. My name is Kelsy, and I'm joined by the fantabulous Mr. Charlie and Mr. Andy. How are you guys doing today?
Howdy do.
Doing good.
All right.
Good.
I've actually got their face cams open right now, but we're not recording that because I don't have a webcam. But you guys don't need that anyway, right? You don't want to see their beautiful faces. So I think today we're going to start off with some amazing science news, like usual. Charlie, what do you want to do?
Okay, so in the new budget for the United States of America, they've allocated more money for a mission to send a probe to Jupiter's moon, Europa. Now, this is cool because Europa is like that icy planet where there's like volcanoes of frozen ice on it and stuff. And it's theorized there is a liquid ocean underneath the icy core because of the tidal forces of Jupiter's gravity. As the moon rotates, it like stretches it. So like just that alone is enough to keep the inside warm. So it's often been theorized as another place in the solar system where life will live.
Yeah, and that's like a huge deal because obviously if we find somewhere else that has life and we can figure out maybe if that life is unique to that part of the, solar system and that life started uniquely, not the same origin of life that happened on Earth. So we find two different origins. If we can even figure that out, if we do find life over there, then that'll probably answer like tons of biological questions of like, what can life be like besides like, how it is here, which is totally awesome.
That would be huge because right now, despite how vast life is on Earth, we basically just have a sample size of one because we all came from the same thing.
Right.
So it would be really anticlimactic if it was the same kind of life on Europa, because then it would have just come from somewhere in the solar system or something.
It would still be super interesting
I was
because
gonna say that wouldn't make it less interesting.
Yeah, it just
It would
wouldn't
almost
be
make it
as
more interesting to
potentially
me.
Interesting, yeah.
it wouldn't be like, because at that point we could probably determine that it's the same origin, just from like different like particles hitting that place and hitting Earth, and somehow one origin created both. So we're all from the same, kind of bits, if that makes
You're
sense.
using the word origin when I think you mean to say God.
Yeah, Jesus obviously is what I mean to be talking. Okay, we can't start already, Andy.
Yeah,
But,
I actually just saw some other article that said some like NASA experiment developed, I think maybe amino acids and like a little test vessel they had that simulates outer space or something like that. So
like
that's
the
pretty
vacuum
interesting.
kind of thing?
Yeah, because every time an asteroid crashes on Earth, I think they always find like amino acids on it and stuff.
That's a kind of a big deal because that's basically the building blocks of life, isn't it? The kind of
Yeah.
starter
Like some
culture.
protein-
culture.
makes up
Allegedly.
proteins and stuff.
Allegedly.
It's like we're gonna make bread with the yeast and the sugars.
Yeah, that also brings up, again, like if the life on Europa is either the same as on Earth as in... Oh, shit. Oh, I thought my recording stopped. Okay, that scared me. So,
Totally professional.
yeah, like Andy said, it's going to be interesting either way, if it's like the exact same kind of DNA that we have, or if it's like
Right.
a different kind of like structure like that.
Yeah,
But,
because I mean, if it's the same, then that'll kind of like I'm trying to say, it'll be like we all came from the same origin,
Well, yeah,
which is incredibly interesting.
if it
that
were the
we can be
same-
so far apart yet
What-
still
Yeah,
have the
if
same.
Yeah, if it were the
was the
same.
same-
Okay, you go ahead and talk, Charlie. It's your bit.
I think if it was the same, that would actually even pose more questions than if it was different. Because
I don't
then
know.
that
I
would,
mean,
then
both
that would
are
be
so-
even more like, then where did this life come
Well,
from
see,
in the
yeah,
first place or
that's what
whatever.
I was gonna say. Is if it was,
At that point, it's going to be like, was it like planted here by something else or something? So that would be.
can I talk now? Can I
Yes.
get a word in edgewise? What I was gonna say is, yeah, I almost think it would be way more interesting if it was the same, because from what I understand, the environment is completely different.
Right,
So,
right. Because
For
like
things
you
to
said,
evolve
it's
the
a-
same way is almost not plausible.
Well, I don't necessarily think that I'm saying, at least like where I'm coming from, I'm not saying that there, is going to be life that evolved the same way, but certainly the origin of where the life started is the same, from
Oh, I see
the,
what you're saying.
So
Yeah, yeah,
like,
we're
like
not-
how
we're
it
not-
happened.
yeah.
We're not
We're not
saying
saying there's
like
gonna be,
we're
like-
gonna.
I thought you were
we're
talking
gonna
about
find,
more
like, humans
advanced
and
life
stuff.
form.
No, we're
No,
not.
just the origin
we're
of
talking
how
on
it
a
actually
fundamental level that it has like the same,
Yeah, like
same
the fact
basic
that it-
DNA code that we have
Exactly.
and life on Earth has or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Not like that there would be goldfish on Europa or
Right.
something.
Well, that fucking sucks.
Right? Well, the thing that's amazing about it is we're going to find Europa goldfish.
I don't
you know
want
what
to
I
be
mean?
part of this anymore.
It just got all kinds of crazy. But like you said, Europa has a thick outer crust of ice, is what you were saying, and then the inside, it's kind of like oh, we're gonna spoil Interstellar. Never mind. Not really. It's just sort of a subplot. Never mind.
It's similar in the fact that it's both.
It's like a Werther's caramel.
Have you seen Interstellar yet, Andy?
No, I haven't.
You motherfucker. That's
I'm
okay.
never gonna watch it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like saying you're never gonna watch a good movie. Anyways,
yeah, that's exactly what that's like.
Yeah, the fact that like Europa could even have life, like I don't even know how that stuff works, but it is amazing. There was one probe that landed on one of the moons of either Jupiter or Saturn. It wasn't on Europa if I understand right, but it was like Huygens. Huygens, that's what it was. It was Huygens.
Let me look this up.
And,
sounds like a really shitty kind of liquor.
All right, well,
Huygens.
Yeah, it was. I think it's Huygens, and I don't know how to spell that because it's not one of those words.
Huygen.
Is that actually how you spell it? Because that's way too easy.
It was on Saturn's moon, Titan.
Okay, yeah, Titan, that makes sense. But it is another moon of Saturn, and they placed it there because, a multitude of reasons, but also because they were trying to find other signs of life, right?
Yeah, because, excuse me, Titan, I believe this is correct, Titan is so cold that it has oceans of liquid methane. So it's also another potential place where life could evolve.
Because I'm pretty sure the probe fell into the actual... I don't actually know what happened, but the probe...
for some reason, I feel like I haven't heard as much about this as I thought I should have because it's
because it was
incredible.
Spinning. Yeah, it was spinning, if I understand correctly, while it was landing onto the surface, and as it spun, it was taking panoramic shots, So we have a ton of photos from Titan, but it was great.
Yeah, on that note of Titan, just a few days ago, scientists were able to, in like a computer program, develop a membrane that would work in methane as a liquid. So they've like come up with a way that simple life could have potentially evolved on Titan in their methane oceans. So that's pretty cool as well.
So like a different sort of form of life, like would it be carbon based, or how does that even work?
I think instead of just using water as the working fluid, it uses methane as the working fluid.
Okay. I need to go take biology. I'll be right back here in a.
You know what's cool about Mercury, the element, not the planet? I think it has it evaporates at like some huge temperature.
Like its evaporation point is really, really hot.
Like, yeah, the point at which it would evaporate, it's almost like if you were around it, it would be so hot that you wouldn't have to worry about it evaporating. Like if you were to come into it with it naturally.
Are you trying to say that we should preserve our Twinkies with like mercury and stuff, or what are you trying to say here?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
Okay, perfect. Glad I could have.
Are you saying we wouldn't need to worry about it because we would be dead?
Yeah, I'm saying you could. Like, yeah, exactly. It's like by the time it becomes a threat that you're going to breathe it into your lungs, it's like you're already on fire.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Except like in Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, when he's like on the planet and the volcano planet, and his arms and legs are chopped off. I imagine that was pretty hot.
Yeah, it probably was.
Them just floating on that platform before the limbs got severed should have burned both of them to a crisp.
It's a great movie either way, I guess.
Hey,
do you really like that movie?
No. I just like that one scene.
Yeah.
The "You were the chosen one" monologue.
You were supposed to bring balance to the Force, not destroy it.
Oh, God, so good.
It could have been a different lava. You have to look at it from a culturally ethnocentric kind of point of view.
I actually read something.
That's interesting because liquid sodium becomes liquid at a very
I'll figure out
at a very reasonable temperature. What were you saying, Andy?
No. I mean, I heard something about Star Wars, like the reason that Anakin Skywalker didn't just burn up into nothingness.
Oh, well, because he had super nano shields.
Yeah, the midichlorians or something.
Yeah, didn't they explain the Force? See, I'm not a Star Wars follower. I don't follow the canon and all that. I just loosely watch the movies as a young boy
me too.
And kind of just med about them. I mean, I love the beginning ones, but
who doesn't?
I like the video games a lot more than the movies for sure. I grew up on one for the N64.
Oh my God, that's so awesome! I never knew that. No, sorry, I mean Midichlorians were intelligent microscopic life forms that lived symbiotically inside the cells of all living things. When present in sufficient numbers, they could allow their host to detect the pervasive energy field known as the Force. Oh my god, that's so cool. I'm pissing off a bunch of old school nerds, but that's so cool.
So then how did the midichlorians keep them alive or keep them from burning to a charred?
Midichlorians keep Anakin
They kind of choose what they want
alive.
to do. They don't have much of a rational logic. We're talking about Star Wars, and it's. I don't know about that right now. I don't know about that.
I think we're thinking about it too much.
I think we're getting into the pseudoscience.
This is fucking cool.
desk with
Biology. I didn't know this.
I love how they keep the.
It's
Star Wars
news to me.
What? Did you find out something?
I didn't know that midichlorians were like these little biotic
nano
life forms. Yeah, it's cool.
I knew there was something inside people. I didn't know they were life forms.
I thought it was like genes. Like you got the Jedi genes.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a force, and like with enough practice, anyone could do it. You just gotta be a badass.
No, well,
Use the Force, Luke.
Luke, you have
Use the Schwartz.
Use the Force.
Use the Schwartz.
Brr.
I got that ring in a. Oh, what was it? Damn it! Spaceballs memory is.
Yeah, I
fading.
know.
I'm sorry.
Box of Cracker Jacks.
Yeah, Cracker Jacks. Cracker Jacks are amazing.
Cracker Jacks. They're going plaid.
Yogurt. I hate yogurt. And then he said something else, and I've forgotten it.
Yeah.
Firing
Spaceballs.
assholes.
Okay, so that's Science Desk with Andy. Sorry, Science Desk with Charlie.
Pseudoscience Desk with
Andy.
Andy.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So, any other amazing news articles to blow our minds for today, to really make us feel amazing and contemporary in today's?
Have I read anything recently that was mind blowing?
I read Ender's Game, and I've started on the second book.
Isn't Ender's Game like a fucking badass book?
So, yeah,
It's like one of
Charlie,
my
you
favorite
haven't
books.
read it, have you?
God,
No, I
love
haven't.
that book.
Yeah, so the end, I don't want to talk it up because that's the worst thing you can ever do. But yes, to say the least, it is a good book.
Wait, the end is the worst thing you could ever do? Or talking it up is the worst?
Talking about it and talking it up is the worst thing you can ever do. Because you say, like, oh, this movie is so good. And
right,
you know,
yeah. You create a false...
Yeah, you hate it. If you go in with no expectations, your mind will be blown, basically.
Yeah.
But Charlie, read Ender's Game, and I'm reading the second one right now. It's called Speaker for the Dead. I don't know if you got that far.
That's like
Andy.
my favorite book in the entire world.
It's amazing because
joking.
it's all about alien anthropology, which technically isn't anthropology because it's the study of humans, but it takes that kind of a view.
Yeah, it's great.
And applies it to aliens. And I'm in cultural anthropology right now in college, and it's just like, it's amazing. It's like, oh, everything is great. It's really awesome, though. You got to read those books.
It's an amazing book.
So good. The author is a questionable man.
He is. He does. I mean, yeah, that's one of those things. It's like you got to separate people from their work.
Yep. I'm good at. I think I'm good at separating things like that. Like I like Michael Jackson's music. You know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I like everything about Michael Jackson.
Yeah, no, he's a fine man. He was a fine man.
Gentleman.
He's still alive.
He's still alive. Tupac
In our
Shakur.
hearts.
What?
Yeah. Just dropping the names.
Biggie.
Did I hear
Smalls.
something about mayonnaise? Like, yeah, we were talking about that last night. Like, mayonnaise is good for the heart.
His blood is made pure mayonnaise.
Who was it? Charlie who was saying that?
I don't
I
know.
was
I
just
think.
bullshitting.
Okay.
I was waiting to see if
We were
someone
playing
would be like, wait, no,
CS:GO,
it's not.
so I would understand why you'd be bullshitting.
8
We should
reasons
have
to
played
spank
Worms.
your kids.
Worms is a great game for meeting people.
We
and,
should
like,
all
chatting
just
up.
let's play it sometime.
Oh, we will. We will.
Oh, okay, we will.
Or let's dick around in it.
Yeah, more like
Yeah.
let's try.
Well, that was kind of like what we were thinking we could do the podcast as, is just us playing Worms and then like us, because it's basically what you do when you play
we gotta
Worms.
do that sometime.
But then we go all like, oh my god, the donkey, and then like no one would understand because it's audio only. So
I
didn't
see
think
what
that
you're
would be
saying.
very
No,
good.
I meant like capture gameplay.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I mean,
that'll
I
basically
feel
be
like
the
we'll do
Pudgy
that.
Buddies show, just without Matt and with Kelsy and Charlie.
Well, that's
if
what
that's a
every
downgrade
let's
or not.
play is.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Damn,
But
let's
anyways,
players.
do we have some awesome, maybe not science related
Yes,
articles?
yes.
All right.
8 reasons to spank your kids.
Oh, perfect. Maybe I can apply some psychology I learned.
Because they
that.
couldn't find 10, but they found more than 5.
Yeah.
Number
They have to
1.
make it sound like they thought about it.
Yeah, let me
Love.
hear number 1. And now, does it go from like 1 to 8 in any like order?
It starts with 1. So I don't know
Okay.
if it ascends or descends in gravity, but
Yeah.
starts with 1.
Okay.
Love. You have to love your child enough to be tough and do what is necessary to get the desired result. Parent first, friend second. That sounds like a fucking military thing. You gotta
that's
get in
thinking,
there,
like-
get your results. You're a soldier first and a human second.
That's really weird because it's sort of like misinterpreting the word love.
That's
By
true.
love, you mean physical pain? Oh, yeah.
You have to.
It's a little odd.
That's right.
You have to love to beat your kids.
Yeah, exactly. You can just replace the word love with beat. And it's, you have to beat
Yeah.
your child enough to be
Yeah.
tough and do what is necessary to get the desired
Yeah.
result. Because
Where
they're
I come
basically
from, that
a
ain't
pet.
what love means.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Stuff.
a bit odd.
See what reason number
Yeah.
2 is. Bibbidi boo.
Oh, is it one of those things where it makes you click a new
Yep.
tab so you can
Mhm.
refresh the advertisements
Yep.
every time? Fucking hate those.
You want to be. Let me double check and make sure this isn't by the Onion. It is not. You want to be respected. To be
Wanna be
feared
respected.
in the sense of reverence is
Yes,
not
make
to
your
be
6-year-old
respected. Your children
More
should be
military
weary of
stuff.
going against your rules.
Oh my
It also
gosh.
teaches them to submit to authority, regardless whether or not they agree. This is obviously not a real article.
This can't be. Does it have an author?
There's a difference between knowing how to say no to your child and spanking your child. You don't need
Well-
to spank your child to be able to say no to your child.
I think there's value in the shock of like any kind of, physical, like whether it's a spank
This
or like
has to be fake.
something.
It's either fake or written by somebody who is just so like out of touch, with
diluted and
reality.
insane.
Is it
You
like
want to
born
teach
again
them how to
Christians or
make
something?
good
Insane.
decisions. Our destinies are determined by decision making. Children have the option to obey or face the consequences. Oh my God. They need to know the consequences hurt.
This sounds like a freaking like
very-
BDSM like catalog
yeah.
or something.
Yeah. It sounds very.
I'm not trying to act like I know what
government issue.
BDSM is like, but I'm
You
just
want them to have self-control. When you're aware of what is on the other side of poor decision making, it is easier to exercise restraint. If you weren't aware already. Number 5.
I think getting a stern talking to is just as terrifying as getting spanked, except without, assaulting your child.
Dude,
I just think it's funny because it's like instead of explaining to my child why they did, like what they did, why it was wrong.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
a
gonna hit
dog.
him.
I'ma
so he
hit him.
doesn't do it
I'm going to hit
I'ma
him till he
hit him.
stops.
because that takes way less words.
And
I
way
know,
less
it's
work.
It's like it's a dog. It's like, oh, you pissed on the carpet. Smack.
Yeah, and you're treating a child like that. It's not good to treat anything like that, whether it's an animal or a child.
Yeah,
Whether
I'm not saying
they-
the dog thing is justified, but that's what it
yeah,
sounds like.
but that's exactly the comparison that they're kind of.
Well, I skimmed through the other 3 or 4 and they were all stupid. But the last one, number 8, just says, it works best. Some kids
Oh.
need it. Period.
Yeah.
When timeout, talking, and taking away toys doesn't work, you have to get that butt.
Can I just say podcast title? Get that butt.
Yes.
What it says.
That is fucking ridiculous. Get
Okay, you need
that
to link
butt.
the article so I can see that. Is it like in bold font? Just like get that butt.
No. That's the worst part. Is they're just completely fine
It's just
with it.
nonchalant. Like get that butt. That's what you
What
do.
website is this on?
It's on Madame Noir.
Gee
Oh.
whizzles.
I was about to say that is definitely not BuzzFeed.
No.
God, I hope not.
I also have 10 weird banana facts.
Oh, does that really work?
Yeah.
Fucking when you were gone, Kelsey, Andy was asking for like a noun.
I was
10 facts about,
mad-libbing
give me a
him
noun,
for
and I was like,
topics,
bananas.
basically.
Wait, say it one more time.
When you were...
Andy was like looking for like, he's like, all right, I want 10 topics about a noun. Give me a noun. And I was like, bananas.
Yeah, basically I was mad-libbing ideas for the show while you were gone.
Yeah,
And
there's
Andy
nothing
was like,
wrong
oh, I
with that.
typed bananas.
Oh. Bananas.
Despite their firm texture and rather dry mouthfeel, bananas are composed of 75% water. There you go. Goodbye. You learned something today.
That is the most random fact ever that has no bearing on anything.
I agree.
That fucking article, it's just, you have to get that butt. Like, it's just a part of the sentence.
It's just a part of the phrasing. I know, right? It's
just
fucked up.
You just have to get that butt.
Get that juke.
It's amazing. Oh, that person has a Twitter. It's me, Lashon. All right.
Okay,
the page doesn't exist. They must have taken it down because it was either fake or they just couldn't keep it.
They couldn't deal with the ramifications of basically advocating child abuse.
It's got 150 comments, and the first one is whoa.
Whoa.
Is this the same Black Women's Lifestyle Guide? Is this the same person?
What are you talking about?
Madame Noir.
Yeah, it's the beating children one.
Yeah, I googled it. It's like Black Women Lifestyle or something.
Oh, is that what the actual... See, I didn't even take a look at the actual website. Nice. Developing associations incorrectly.
Speaking of child abuse.
Yeah, perfect segue.
It's pretty great.
Perfect thing to do when you're talking.
Do you think people who smoke around their kids should be culpable for child abuse?
I don't know if like maybe that's the phrasing I would use, but yeah, I think what you're getting at is agreeable. Like I think that's definitely something you could argue because yeah, secondhand smoke is supposed to be more toxic than smoking a cigarette
because there aren't any
yourself.
filters.
Right. So yeah, I mean I'm a affected person of that, but I mean I think we all are to some degree. Even if like our parents aren't smoking, people are smoking around us. But then you have to think like at the same time we're breathing in like exhaust of cars every day too. So how far do you want to draw the line? Do you want to say like, no driving cars?
If you like took a mouthful of like a car exhaust, you'd die a lot quicker than purely suffocating from cigarette smoke.
Right.
That's true, but I mean, granted that you know the effects.
Is that even like a fair comparison though? Because you're just like sucking air through a cigarette. It's not like you're just like breathing in pure smoke or whatever.
Well, I mean, are you like sitting in your house right now? Obviously, you're not. Well, you're probably sucking in like resonant. But you're not sucking an exhaust right now. But if you lived in the house and you were a little kid and you had no means of like getting away,
or didn't want to, or didn't know.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you're 20 or 18 and you can actually leave the house on a regular basis, that's different. But when you're when you're like 3 years old, I don't know. I think there's something there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just playing a little devil's advocate here.
Oh, yeah. No, devil's advocate is the best.
But, yeah, I mean, well, smoke, it has to be, like, in air to be smoke. Otherwise, it would just be, like, ash, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But how does that make it, like...
Yeah, I was just kind of agreeing with the assertion.
Yeah,
I wasn't quite sure where you were going.
True.
I don't know what my point is here. It's child abuse.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's definitely like I would say it's child abuse, but I feel like maybe that term, because obviously when you think of child abuse, you think of some guy hitting a kid, or not some guy, some parent.
I mean, a very specific guy hitting a kid.
This guy with tattoos.
Greg
he's
from
tall,
Walmart.
He's bald. He's white. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, that's what I think of. I think of like
white.
A guy who's white. He's wearing like a wife beater and then like a dirty dress shirt over
a wife beater tucked into
classic
pants
Hollywood
with a belt.
Yeah, exactly.
Beer gut.
Classic Italian stereotype from Hollywood.
Yeah. It's me, Mario. I
punch in your face because I feel bad about myself and my feelings.
Yeah.
Cigarettes and 3-year-olds made me think of like when crackheads or like heroin addicts have babies and they say the baby is addicted to those drugs.
It is.
The baby's not really addicted to those drugs. It's just suffering from withdrawal from those drugs.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to really
what
quickly clear up the fact that we were just really making light of child abuse. We do that with everything, and
we weren't making light of child abuse.
Well, we were joking about it.
I mean, it's a shitty, horrible thing, but what...
No, I mean, it's awful in every which way, and I don't mean to, like, make people that have suffered from that in any way, like, feel bad. Like, I just wanted to put that out there because, I mean, that's kind of what
that's definitely safe. I mean, when you're not actually experiencing it and just talking about it, it's a lot easier to just
bring up and whatever.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. Trivialize it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Or just make light of it because that's just the human condition.
That's
basically.
True. I also wouldn't want to sit around and just, like, be like, oh, isn't it so terrible, though, that happened? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
I mean, yeah.
it's obviously more than that.
It's a fine line. Like, you don't want to insult people, but on the other hand, like, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah,
like,
obviously.
I
I mean, it
I mean,
makes
yeah, I don't-
psychological changes to someone's brain in
Oh,
some
yeah, of
cases. So
course.
it's not even something like, oh,
Well,
woe
in
is
all
me.
cases, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I would say so.
would-
Obviously, there's more than one kind of abuse, and probably is a more sticky topic than we should even think about covering. But certainly, like, I've actually listened to quite a few podcasts about a guy who suffered from it, and he talks to people about it. His podcast isn't exclusively that. He just gets a lot of calls about it. And I thought it was interesting because never once had I ever thought about child abuse or anything like that, like any more than, wow, the parent's a dick, like that sucks. For the kid, but like I never thought about the ramifications and how it really does make people like, it's horrible.
It propagates itself.
Oh yeah,
Right,
I mean,
right.
I don't know
Abusers
if this is
become
like
abusers.
for sure a fact, but I'm pretty sure like
Or
most, if
abused
not all,
become
serial
abusers.
killers were like victims of some form of child abuse.
Yeah, there was a one show. There was something like something about the beginning of evil or something
It
like
depends
that.
on it depends on what you call child abuse, because like if you put neglect in there, then yeah, definitely. Because a
Yeah.
lot of it comes out of neglect and then not developing, like, I don't know what part of the brain it is. I
Affection
probably
and-
should, but the part of the brain
Yeah.
that deals with empathy and stuff doesn't
Yeah,
develop
affection and
correctly.
empathy.
Right.
But then
Yeah,
also
that was
abuse.
interesting
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
I just watched Zodiac, and I don't know. If either
Did
of
you?
guys
I've
have
seen that, yeah.
Oh yeah. I love that movie. I mean, I've only seen it, I think, like twice, but I just watched it again because it's made by a director who I just like adore, David Fincher. He's really, really good.
Is that the one with what's his name?
Fight Club.
What?
He made Fight
No,
Club.
no, no.
Benjamin Button, apparently.
The actor.
Oh, Zodiac has Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
pretty
one
sure,
I was thinking of.
and a few other good actors.
Mhm.
There's one guy like, I don't know. He played the Hulk in the Avengers movie though, and he's been in a whole bunch of other
Oh,
movies,
who
and
is
he's
that
such
guy?
a good actor. But I like had never heard of him really. His name is something.
He was
like,
in
with
Shutter
an M.
Island too.
Yes, he was. He was a fantastic character in Shutter Island. That's kind of who I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking about when I was saying he's a really good actor. He was also in Zodiac, and that's why I'm saying it.
Oh,
But
okay.
I just thought that guy was like incredibly good, and he's like not a big name, which I think is funny.
No, not really.
So good. Anyways, on to the topics of, do we have other things to talk about besides child abuse?
Uh,
I have
Because the
something if you're
episodes.
drawing a blank.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Did you see this Republican senator or congressman from Nebraska like trying to proclaim that global warming doesn't exist by holding a snowball in his hand or something?
That's how it works.
So that's just like the catalyst for bringing up the overall point of people who like just decide to trust their senses over science without
Every
realizing
single person in this conversation just has their face to their hand, or their hand to their face right now. It's
yeah,
amazing.
I mean, the whole reason modern science exists is because this is all stuff that our senses alone cannot perceive
right.
or tell.
let me
going
ask you
on.
something. If global warming is real, how come it's still cold outside? Can you answer
Because it
that,
ain't getting warmer.
scientist
It's getting
man?
colder.
Can you answer me that, scientist man?
What you fail to realize is that the rest of the world is actually higher than
Well,
normal
it's not
temperatures.
global warming, it's global climate change, which creates extremes in temperatures, both hot and cold. If I
Yeah, I
understand
mean,
it.
the better way to think of it is average atmospheric energy increase.
Try fucking
Ener-
telling
energy.
that to like
Use the word-
90% of the population.
No,
Yeah.
but it's interesting that you use the word energy and not temperature.
Yeah, energy is the
Because-
better way to think about it. Is an
because
increase in
that's-
the amount of energy in the
Yeah,
atmosphere.
I've never heard it. I've never heard it put that way, but I think that actually makes a lot more sense.
Like
Or at
entropy.
least it's a
Yeah, I
better
mean,
way
like
to.
when they say like increasing 1 or 2 degrees, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. What you should really be thinking about is like how much energy that would involve to raise the entire atmosphere by
Right.
1 or 2 degrees.
Well, I mean, even apply it to a human being. If you rise or decline in 1 or 2 degrees, that's a huge change.
Yeah,
like
if
your
you
core
raise a
temperature,
degree
I
or
mean.
two, you're basically having a fever.
Right,
Yeah.
you're like, you're not on your deathbed, but certainly you're very problemed.
Well, what is a
Very bad.
lethal human temperature? Like what, 105, 106?
Somewhere like there, maybe 108 even or something.
So
like
that's
that.
like what, 8 to 10
yeah, 8 to 10
degrees?
degrees.
So
yeah,
I
and
mean,
we're
10%
like-
increase in body temperature. So.
yeah, 10%.
Right.
I don't know
I think-
what a lethal
and-
like lowering of body temperature would be because you're endothermic and you
I think it's in like the low 90s or high
thermoregulate.
80s or something.
Is it really?
That is a lot of change, isn't
It
it?
is. I mean, I guess if 8 degrees up kills you and 8 degrees down would be like 89, 90. So
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like 90 degrees.
wow.
That shit's crazy. 'Cause I just don't want to get hypothermia.
Yeah, hypothermia sounds awful.
Yeah. There was such a great episode of
Oh my god.
Mansers.
Okay, apparently one woman survived her
I
body
hate
temperature
that
getting
show.
It's so good. I used to watch it as a kid.
I used to watch it as a No, I'm gonna say kid as
As
well.
a teenager.
As a
Just
20-year-old
just-
man.
Just
Go
a
for it,
short
Charlie.
aside here. Some woman had her body temperature down to 56 degrees Fahrenheit and still survived.
How?
does-
Like
like
under
her
what
core temperature?
conditions?
Yeah, how does
she
that
was
work?
trapped under a layer of ice for 80 minutes in freezing water.
Good lord. There was this gif of this guy that was trapped under a layer of ice for like over a day or something, and he was like in a boat or something like that. And not fire rescue guys, but the rescue teams that were trying to pull
The ice
bodies
rescue
out.
guys.
The ice rescue guys who were trying to pull the bodies out of the ice saw a hand come up from the ice.
I don't think that
There
was
was
in
a-
ice water. I think that was in tropical water.
That was an upward inflection when you said that. And the guys who were trying to pull him out of the ice?
Because I think I saw that same article you were talking about. I think that was in a rather warm climb.
No, there was ice.
There was
There was
ice.
actual ice.
Was it? I know there was some guy that was like trapped in a fishing boat that was upside
Yeah,
down or
yeah.
something.
I think that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
I could have.
Okay, maybe
Oh
it
my
was that
God.
cold. He was in like an air pocket, so he wasn't completely like
Right, that's
submerged.
what
Oh
it
my
was.
God.
Because they saw a hand coming through like the ice, not through, but like they could see the hand
Yeah.
transparently through the ice.
Yeah.
And yeah, like all the Reddit comments were like, "Could you imagine seeing that hand?" And it's like, scare the shit out of you. But yeah, no, it was interesting.
Oh, speaking of scaring the shit out of you, I was laying in bed last night, and or maybe it was a couple nights ago, and I just had like the worst feeling that like if I would roll over, there'd be like some sort of dog or something like eye level with me. And it was the freakiest
On your bed?
thing. No, on the side of my bed, like standing next to my bed looking at me.
Oh God,
And it was
that's
the
a big
weirdest feeling. And so of course
Dog. Really
I
strange.
cocooned in the covers and was like, it's just you being fucking crazy.
I mean, I used to have feelings like that when I was a child, but I don't really have feelings like that anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
I've never had a feeling like that until a couple days ago, which is why it was weird.
Right.
Huh.
That's one of those things where like the imagination is like the ultimate superpower in like
Yeah.
scaring people. I just think that's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, like back when you need like a nightlight as a kid, and now I just want like absolute black hole, pitch black
Yeah,
in my
pitch
room.
black is- I don't give a fuck about the boogeyman. He can steal me all night.
It's like
Just
I
wanna
got work
get some
tomorrow. I gotta
goddamn
fucking sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're like laying in bed and the closet just goes, and you're like, fuck you! And then you just roll over and go
like-
back to
you're like-
sleep.
You're like, oh, the fucking heating must have just kicked in or something.
Yeah, whenever things like that happen, I just go, "Oh, it was a cat. It's not something horrifying that's gonna murder me." In my sleep."
My fridge, the like Freon or whatever in it is always going.
Oh God, my fridge makes a lot of weird noises
What
too.
was that?
That's like the shutty doors on the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The doors that side.
yeah.
They're like, It's funny because doors having emotions, that's the only emotion a door would ever emote. They just sigh because they're fucking doors.
Who was I talking to about child abuse yesterday?
And we're back on the
It wasn't
glorious
you.
topic
Well,
of getting Dat
It's
Butt.
semi related. Oh yeah, it was like my friend when he was in grade school. He literally walked into a door, and so like
I did that.
he told
It was
the
transparent,
teacher like. Yeah, I think this was also a transparent door. But the teacher's like, "What happened to your face?" And he's like, "I walked into a door."
Oh.
But then I was like, "A door walked into me." So the teacher was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "The door was shut and also Windexed, and I walked into it." And she's like,
she's thinking it's like second speak or whatever, like underhanded
"Yeah, exactly."
covering up abuse or something.
Well, like
Shit.
my dad, when he was a kid, they built like a little I don't know what you'd call it, like a nest or a little box for his cat to sleep in outside. And at school, he told the teacher that there was like a cat house in his backyard, which is like a brothel.
Oh, is it? Okay, I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever heard that term
It's
before.
an old, it's
say
an
it
old
again?
term. A cat house.
Oh yeah, of course I've heard that.
And so he's like, my dad has a cat house in the backyard for me. And the teacher was like, what?
For like a kid that young, though, would you ever actually interpret it that way?
I don't know.
I mean, you might think that at first when you're like, oh, it's a kid. It's got to be a house for like a feline.
Or the kid's just like understanding of what a brothel is.
Yeah,
and
or
he's
the
like,
kid actually has a
getting that
brothel in
booty.
his backyard and you're blowing him
Yeah.
off.
Exactly. You have to look at both ends of the spectrum
He
because
grabbed her pant and he's like, please, there are so many elderly prostitutes. She's like, oh, what a cute kid. Get out of here.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
like
only
every episode of
cry
the
for
Rugrats.
help so hard as a child.
Oh man,
Your little lungs get tired.
the shit
I see
like
naked people.
Oh, God.
yeah, the shit like I used to say as a kid, and I'm sure like all kids, like we have
I
different
doubt it.
understandings of what word means.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. Like, there was a line that the Marines used to say in StarCraft 1. It was like, I'm getting jacked up and ready to go. And I'd like say that. And my dad's like, don't say that. It sounds like you're high or something.
When I was a kid, I used to take my Hot Wheel cars and smash them together and go, damage, damage. And my parents thought I was saying damn it. So they thought I was just like this spastic child going, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it.
That's so much better. Oh my god.
Oh.
Push it to clay. Push it to clay.
Damage.
Damage level 5. Call the ambulance.
Oh my god. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
To slowly slide off this roller coaster, do we have another article you boys want
It's
to talk
not really
about?
slowly. That's like veering off and crashing into the concession stand.
Well, I was trying it, slowly saying it. That was the actual transition itself. To get into the semantics of the segue.
Stop it.
Because I've got one here about the world's oldest person.
Oh,
Her name
God.
is Misawa Okawa, I think.
Jeez.
And she has turned 117 years old. And of course, the article's about like what's her secret, how the shit can anyone live that long.
Genetics and statistics.
Probably getting lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
statistics.
say getting lucky is probably number one. But on the article, it says, like, they asked her, like, what she said about the secret, and she's like, I wonder about that, and you have to learn to relax, and apparently a different report said that her long life is due to sushi and deep sleep, because she sleeps at least 8 hours nightly, which I've heard tons and tons of information and data about how sleep is, amazing for you.
Yeah,
It's
but
really,
there's
really
also a lot of
important.
data that says that sleep, like, sleep is dependent based on personal anatomy and biology
Yeah.
and stuff. Anyways,
8 hours is like a mean with like a plus.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
minus
yeah,
right.
it's an
2
average.
It's a mean
It's
with,
not one
like,
size fits
a
all.
huge standard deviation.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you need to sleep what like doesn't make your ribs sore, but at the same time, you need to like be well rested.
Yeah,
Right.
Some article I showed like you can find out how much sleep you need by like going on vacation or something for like a week or two and just going to bed at the same time every single night without like setting an alarm for the morning, and you'll eventually just get attuned to like.
Oh,
the
you
right
mean
amount
going
of
on
sleep you
vacation
need.
as in not having any commitments in the morning?
Yeah, not having any
I
commitments.
thought you meant
so-
like go to Maui and sleep, and I was like, I'll go and try that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like go to bed at the same time every
So
night
go-
and set
okay.
no alarm, and it'll.
So more than anything, that's all about dealing with stress. Probably is like what that's sort of trying to relieve, like take away from the equation.
and like
and how-
there's other stuff like if you don't go to bed at the same time every night, you don't get like
Right.
the same amount of sleep or
Right.
same quality of sleep and everything like that.
Yeah,
And of
I've
course,
never
like, all
been
the-
able to do that.
The blue light that comes from electronics, that
Mm-hmm.
your melatonin and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone who is listening, if you can download, like, just go on your app store for your phone, download something that makes your screen dim. But on a desktop, at least for Windows, you can download Flux, which is F.lux, and it dynamically, as the sun sets, makes your screen orange, which allows your melatonin to produce because your eyes are kind of derpy, or maybe screens are kind of derpy and our eyes are fucking normal as
Yeah,
shit.
well,
but
No, your eyes
you're
are
like-
normal
if
as
you-
shit. Yeah, your eyes
you're
are meant to. Go ahead, Charlie. I'm sorry.
If
You
you
explain it.
If you still
the
have
shit,
like
yeah.
light bulbs turned on, you're still gonna get that blue light though.
No, I could have sworn I heard that the light, it's because it's blue light, which is a shorter wavelength.
Yeah, well, the light bulbs have blue in them. That's what makes them white.
Oh God, that makes sense.
Nerd. Duh.
Okay,
So the
light's bad
ideal
for you.
solution would be like wearing like orange like shooting glasses or something.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause
That's
then
interesting.
Then it's gonna not necessarily that, but ones
But like
that
a
actually
warmer
block
light,
out,
a warmer light, like
ones
a
that
more
actually
orangey
block
light.
out all blue light.
Yeah, don't have fluorescence in your bedroom. Basically, have like
Yeah.
nice warm
if you
lights.
Candles don't put out blue light, so
Yeah, exactly. Candles are like that's the like minimum setting you can put flux to. Like it actually has the Kelvin ratings.
Really?
Yeah.
And you can put it to like candle light, and that's like light your room with candles. Be a badass.
Fall asleep
for,
with
like,
tons of candles in your room.
yeah.
Hopefully
And make
wake
sure
up not to a burning house and death.
Yeah, make
and
sure,
also
like,
suffocation. and
long-haired
burning
cats are
cats.
like walking around. It's really important. But
yeah.
like I
candles
have
are unsafe. Make sure you're keeping an eye on them if you do that.
yeah. No, but I've been making a habit of like every night giving myself like an hour to read a book, like I use my Kindle, which doesn't actually have a backlight. What?
Okay, no. I make sure to like read a book on my computer, every night for
it's
an
not,
hour.
though. That's my point.
No,
Yeah,
no.
that's my point.
You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
one of those matte, like black and white Kindles.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's an e-ink display which has no backlight. You
Gotcha.
actually have to have light for it to.
Those are really
work.
nice.
Oh, it's the reason I bought it is because it's it has like a 2-week battery life and it's amazing.
And that's like
that
the
less
low level model, right? That's like the
that's the cheapest one, and it's
right?
amazing. It's
Is that
like
is that just like a fancy calculator display or something?
Basically, it sounds like it.
I think so.
Because that's what calculators
it's
are,
like
the ink
that.
display.
It's
Yeah,
like
they
that,
don't-
obviously.
They don't have backlights.
Right. It's just like that sort of technology. Like there's no actual light pouring in from any source of electronic anything. It's just sort of producing the text. I don't know how it works, of course, but it's very interesting looking because it's so easy to read. It's insane. And it lets you change the font. Like,
Yeah, I
however
love
you want.
I love it when I
So
go to like Barnes and Nobles and I see those because I think it's one of those those generic stickers that they put on TVs
Right,
to
exactly.
display them like this is what you could be watching, general ocean background.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so I sort of like pick at it with my fingernail and I'm like, this is what it looks like.
Yeah. Then you
this
destroy
is
the
gorgeous.
screen.
And then I have like 8 of them that I had to buy because I
Yeah.
keep doing it because I don't believe the quality of the Kindle. Such quality.
Such high quality. I break the screens every time.
Have I earned my $30 yet?
We are not paid by Amazon or Kindle.
No, but they're only like $70. At least the Kindle I bought. And
Oh,
it's
I
really,
know.
really good.
They're probably
it defeats
less
the purpose,
now.
though. I don't know, but I know that they came out with a touchscreen one which has a backlight, and it completely defeats the purpose of the fucking thing. So don't buy that one. Don't buy a tablet. Buy a fucking Kindle with an E.
You mean the ones
display,
with the
or a Nook.
backlights?
Yeah, don't get one with a backlight. Don't get one with like if it says LCD screen, don't get it because that's defeating the purpose of the nighttime. Letting your eyes produce melatonin. and
You
all
can
that.
get. Is yours a
How about
touchscreen?
your eyes produce melatonin?
Is yours a touchscreen?
Mine is not. It's literally just like 2 bars that you press like left or right kind of thing, and it's very
okay.
simple. It's kind of like it's just really simple. It's like
too
a very
simple.
bare bones sort of thing, and I'm really happy with it. And it can hold like 1,000 books because it's got a gigabyte, and that's how books work because they're kilobytes. They're just
It looks like it's like $60.
yeah, it's really a good
Kindle
it's a good deal.
6-inch touchscreen display Wi-Fi. It doesn't say anything about high resolution displays or anything like that.
We can actually get a referral link, and then when people buy the Kindles, like we'll get a kickback. And I think that's funny. But we don't have that, so I'm
Yeah.
completely talking.
Don't buy a Kindle yet.
yeah,
Hold
wait,
off.
wait for us.
Hold off.
We need to get like 1,000 listeners consistently.
Oh God,
and
we
then get a
can
referral
make $13
a year.
a year.
$13 in a century after we get 10 clicks.
Yay!
But
I've
yeah,
heard,
I
like-
mean, on like the note of like cutting out that melatonin at night, I would like to see some
No,
research
cutting
that
in the
shows-
melatonin. Oh,
or
cutting out.
make-
I see what
yeah,
you're saying.
cutting out the
Yeah.
light that keeps you from producing melatonin.
Yeah, yeah.
I would like to see some research. There's probably research that shows the benefits of like that, but I don't know if I've actually seen anyone actually cite any real research on it,
What, that blue lights prevents melatonin production?
or that how much better it actually like makes you feel, or how much better sleep you actually get, or something like that. But that seems like a pretty hard thing to quantify, though.
You mean the correlation between the value of sleep before, or the value of sleep when not exposed to blue light.
Yeah, maybe
Before
if you
sleep.
like, if you don't get exposed to blue light, you could get maybe the same function on less sleep or something like that.
Right. Well, I mean, if you're just like, say, out in the woods and there is just like, it's just a normal day. The only lighting is like from fire, for instance.
And light
just
pollution.
because- yeah, and light pollution. But let's say we're like, in a
Sufficiently
world
far
where,
away.
yeah, sufficiently far away in the woods, not like in your backyard.
The backyard is my woods.
Yeah, it is actually for
The
me,
forest
but-
of New Jersey.
The
Right,
forest
right.
of New Jersey.
which is
jungle.
probably like a tree. I don't know how it works over
They
there.
actually have
A
like a very
tree.
large pine barrens.
It's a tree, and everyone comes from all of New Jersey to visit it.
Yeah, and they park their dogs and they shit on the
You
tree.
see
but,
this, Kevin? This is a tree. Orbarius americanus, also known as the giving tree.
My mind is still blown from the fact that trees don't produce our oxygen, like the majority. It's actually algae from the oceans.
Yep.
That's pretty damn interesting. But anyways, getting back to the point is,
Lied to
yeah,
by
I think if you were
everyone.
out in the woods doing your thing, the sun's up, our eyes see that, we don't produce melatonin, so we're up and sprite and we don't get murdered from predators. And then the sun goes down and it's darkness and our eyes are like, well, it's time to sleep because we're not nocturnal, and you go to sleep and you get a nice night's sleep.
And you get such a deep sleep, you get murdered in your sleep by badger terrorists.
Badger terrorists. Or whatever it is on top of the backs of woodpeckers.
The weasels.
Weasels.
Oh yeah, yeah. That fucking image would like not load for me. It was so low
Oh
res.
no!
God, so
it was like
goofy
one of the
looking.
greatest images of my life.
I
Of my
know.
youth.
I was just imagining Andy's reaction to it.
It wasn't that great.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was just like,
oh
Yeah.
my god.
no, it wasn't quite like that.
Moving on from that, I think there's actually more juice to suck out of this elderly woman's article, but
Ew.
oh, Japanese people. Look, let's not get into the grossness of what I just implied.
It wasn't even the.
Japanese
It was just juice of this article. It's the gross
I love me some good article juice to start my day.
artichoke juice.
I juice several articles every morning to get a very productive energy flow. Okay, Japanese people. Oh, this is the article that I'm quoting now.
Let's just start
Japanese
categorizing
people
here.
are the worst. First of
Oh
all,
my god. I tried to move to the article. Okay, quoting the article now, quote, Japanese people eat low sugar, plant-based diets without processed foods and junk. This dramatically lowers their risk for inflammatory diseases and cancer. Younger generations who are now adopting more Western diets are seeing sharp increases in obesity and heart disease. Who knew?
I saw something that showed that it's not all sugar that's bad, it's fructose. It's not like the sugar you find in fruit. It's fructose. That's like the
Yeah,
really
it's-
bad
yeah.
sugar.
Exactly. It's developed. It's not man-made sugar because
Anything
it's
made from corn,
extracted
basically.
artificially.
right, but it's extracted condensed sugar is my understanding of it. And then high fructose is even more condensed. They
Right.
literally like compact it into crystals of magicalness.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm pretty sure Japanese scientists figured out how to do that in the
Fuck
80s.
the Americans.
So it's a little tiny bit ironic. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's it. Is it ironic?
I feel like Americans would have figured that out just because we're the country with all the corn, and that's where it comes from.
no,
That's
we
true.
steal the ideas, Charlie. We steal the ideas and capitalize on them. That's how we've always
We
worked.
didn't steal the idea of corn.
Yeah, no, just the idea of high fructose eating the corn.
Corn is in like 90% of food. It's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
It's amazing.
You mean like of processed food, or do you mean
Well,
like of all food?
Well,
processed
processed food, basically.
Yeah, I was
like
gonna
there's,
say.
there's no corn and tomatoes.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying.
No. Like
There's so
processed
much corn in
food
this broccoli.
is just
High fructose corn
of-
syrup in my Oreos.
Yeah, why the fuck would you eat Oreos?
not
'Cause
in
they're
my
the best
peace
things
tea.
ever.
My peace tea just has regular sugar.
Yeah, okay, well here's my question. Does it just say sugar, Andy? Because
Yes.
if it does, okay, but what sugar?
I
What
don't know.
sugar is sugar? Because there isn't such a thing of just sugar.
It's
That's
just
my-
sugar.
Yeah, see, that's bullshit. That's
It's
bullshit.
probably
They have
cane sugar.
It probably is, maybe, hopefully, but what if it's not?
I'll just Google it. What kind of sugar peace tea you use?
Yeah, I don't like that. Anyway,
Why not? It's because I might get some information.
No. I mean, I don't like that they don't identify what kind of sugar it is.
Oh.
Like, identify what
Well, I
kind
mean,
of sugar
at that
it is.
point, you got to be like saying like chemical formulas and stuff. Or
Okay,
something.
do that. Damn it, I don't care. It's not
Most
that
people are
much
going to be like,
wasted
"Oh, I
ink.
don't know that." Should we
know.
get into a discussion about food labels?
Yes,
Sure.
very much so.
Sure.
Do you like how they make them in like obscure units that like no American is familiar with?
What
So
do you
just
mean?
making sure you understand
So they
that no
can't.
one.
So they can't tell like how much bad stuff they're actually eating.
Oh yeah.
The
What
food
are you talking
industry's
about?
like,
How they
sure. The food industry's like, sure, we'll say what's in our product, but we'll put it in grams because no American has a sense for
Yeah.
grams.
Yeah, that's true. Like how they manipulate the serving size to make it like.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here's a jar of Nutella, but it has 100 serving sizes or something.
Right. They're like, it's only 30 calories if you use a thumb of it, like
Yeah.
a thumbnail size of it.
Can we make that the new official unit of America, the thumb? Okay, wait, first. Differences in America. How do you say caramel?
Caramel.
Caramel.
Like
I say-
everything, I
I
just
say
kind of
caramel.
like, I just like sort of like half-ass it basically, like with
there
every word.
there is a
caramel.
large portion of this country that says caramel, though, and not caramel.
Yeah, caramel has always been like, yes,
Yeah,
I'll have some caramel with my
I felt
think
the
that's
same
like a-
way, but then I realized that there's no way that I'm like just omitting that A when it's right in the middle of the word.
Yeah, I think
Right.
caramel is more of an East Coast thing, and I think caramel is like a Midwest thing.
Well,
It is
he's
weird how that
from the
happens, though,
West.
'cause it's literally not the word. Like, caramel is just not the word, because there's two
I mean,
A's.
there are lots of words in English that we say is not the word.
Well, caramel.
Yeah, caramel, but you don't say that. You
Well,
you know,
I'm
you-
saying like over time, linguistically, people got lazier and lazier, and that's probably how it happened.
Right.
Yeah.
It was caramel, and then it was like, fuck that A.
Caramel.
Caramel. Just caramelizing.
Some caramels.
Oh, by the way, I just want to point this out. I know, Charlie, you're a really big fan of Alton Brown because he's like the best person ever made.
Yeah.
He has a podcast, and it's amazing.
Does he have
It's
a
called-
podcast?
And it's really funny. It's called the Alton Brown Cast. And it just sounds like a really poopy weather type of some
yeah,
type.
this is the room where they developed the brown note.
Yeah.
Can't spell
exactly.
bass without ass.
There you go.
Who is this
Um,
person?
I don't know.
You don't know who
Alton
Brown is?
Yeah.
Alton Brown is the scientific cook that does everything good and is godlike.
Yeah, before the Food Network became like TLC,
Shitty.
where they cook. It's like
And it's
they
sad
used to have
because
like
he's the-
individual cooking shows, and he would always explain the science behind everything and
Let
stuff.
me just look him up real quick.
Oh, it's you don't need to.
Would
but,
I
like,
know him if I saw him?
Probably
Yeah, he's definitely been
if you
around
watch
for a
the
long,
cooking
long time.
channel at all.
That's kind of who I figured he was.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's just amazing. That guy is just
Yeah.
good.
I miss his show.
Oh, Good
good
Eats was
stuff.
always amazing because
Yeah.
like he talks about the science, but not in a way that it would like in any way be annoying. Like he's just it's a normal cooking show.
contribute either.
Like when you're making the emulsion in mayonnaise, he talks about what's going on at a molecular level. Molecular
He does though. He does.
molecular level.
Twist your mustache. Molecular level. Yes.
Once again, I have to shave because I'm a value for society.
Yeah, I was gonna say we went right straight to the very beginning of this, of this
Wow.
show.
Throwbacks.
Face cams would be better.
It
So
would
we were
be.
talking about caramel color. Did you actually want to talk about
Am I
that?
gonna get to finish ever?
Yes, I want you to.
Okay.
Mayonnaise.
They put it in like Coke. The company Coke likes to put it in everything.
Oh yeah.
That's
they-
a good distinction to make. The company Coke versus the truck.
Well, no, I meant the company Coke as opposed to the
God.
specific product. What?
Just really quick, I saw a GIF on how cocaine is
I
made,
told you I was never gonna get to finish.
and it's insane. They put like gasoline and shit in it. Never mind, go. It's just absolutely bananas. I don't understand.
The
how
company
life
Coke
works.
puts caramel coloring in like everything, and caramel
Uh-huh.
coloring is terrible for you.
Why?
I think it raises blood pressure. If I
Doesn't everything?
well, I mean, not in a organic way, like
Yeah.
high. Fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean I think it's stupid. Like if your soda's gonna be purple, leave it purple.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's where I'm going. Coke has a brand of tea. I don't remember which kind it is, but they put caramel coloring in the tea. And
The tea leaves?
No,
Or,
like,
the
in
actual-
the solution.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Gotcha.
what the
Yes.
fuck?
I think
When is tea
Coca-Cola
not
would-
caramel colored?
Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Coca-Cola would be clear if they didn't color it.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's really weird.
It is weird to think about.
But yeah, I wanted to tie back to your gasoline making
Real
cocaine
quick, though.
thing, Kelsey.
Real quick.
Yes.
Go.
Because they
Finish,
made
finish.
Crystal Pepsi, which was like clear Pepsi in the 90s.
That's so
Like,
strange.
in the 90s. It didn't. It's gone now, obviously, but that's what that was. I
Oh,
think.
but that's how it like looked originally.
You could like go to the store and buy Crystal Pepsi, and I think it was clear Pepsi.
But I mean, like the crystal was without additives, sort of thing. Like that's how Pepsi actually
I think
looks.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've heard 7-Up or something like the lime and lemon, one of those sodas, looked purple.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't understand that because it's like clear now, so I don't know how they.
Yeah,
like,
Crystal
de-purpleize
Pepsi
it.
was like
Chemistry.
Clear.
That's all you need to know is chemistry.
Yeah,
Chemistry.
good old.
And that ties back to that gasoline thing.
Yeah, go for that. Go
Like
for that.
they use all kinds of insane chemicals to like extract stuff, but I mean, like chemically, formulaically, they neutralize all that stuff. So
yeah,
I feel like
you're
when
right.
people bring that up, they're kind of just trying to mislead you without
Right.
Bring back what?
letting, like when like they use like harsh things to extract like stuff.
Yeah, like
out of,
like
like,
there was
food
this
things,
gif of this
maybe.
guy making cocaine, and he's like got the leaves. They dry the leaves. They get the I mean I don't know the process, but they definitely use like extraordinarily harsh chemicals like gasoline and like crazy shit while they're producing the cocaine, and then they get the end product, and it's like normal looking cocaine. It's actually like a paste. It looks like a paste for some
Yeah, they
reason.
gotta dry it or something. I think.
Right.
Huh.
But
yeah,
but
I
like
mean,
you're
like-
saying, Charlie, yeah, you're right, because it's like you're just
Yeah, I mean, like they're not. It's not being used as an ingredient. They're using it as like a solvent or
Right,
like a
right.
means to extract stuff.
My
It's still the
God.
fact that it's like, going up in there. It's like you're gonna snort some gasoline up your nose. That's what it seems
Well,
like.
have you heard
Yeah,
of
it's
any
the-
like the other like harsher, shittier drugs? From
Like meth?
no, like crocodile, I think is what it's called. It's like
Yeah, crocodile.
shit cheap
I don't think I've ever heard
heroin
that.
from.
Yeah, that one
Oh,
actually
where's it
has
from?
gasoline as an
Where's it from?
ingredient.
Dominican Republic, I think.
No, it's from Russia.
Nice.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like piss poor heroin, and
Yeah, that one actually has gasoline as an ingredient. It's not
and it
just a
actually
solvent or
it
something.
necrotizes your skin, and your skin just starts dying.
Yeah, it makes your flesh rot basically.
Yeah,
You want to
it's-
feel
it's
good and have
amazing.
your flesh fall off.
It's
your
called
fucking
crocodile because
bones?
when your flesh gets gangrenous and dies,
Yeah, it makes it look like
looks
a
like a crocodile.
Nice.
Vice
Isn't
did
that
a
amazing?
whole Vice did a whole documentary on it. That's where I
Did they?
that's where I saw.
I heard about it
Vice
from Matt.
does- yeah.
It's pretty graphic.
Vice does all the documentaries about the drugs.
Yep, that's what they do. It's the job.
Yeah, we did a group project at like McCormick who makes the spices or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a factory near us, and they it's like their flavors division. So
Oh
they make like
Christ!
liquid or powdered flavors kind of thing.
Oh,
So we were
Lord.
like working in the liquid flavors section, and just some of that stuff is just so super interesting. It's just like these huge like 1,000-gallon vats, and one day this guy was making like chicken flavoring, and
And
they
he
just
fell
like
in.
in like these 3 barrels full of like chicken fat.
And he became Chicken Man.
It was just so concentrated that like when you smelled it, it was just like, oh my god, that's like 1,000 chickens at once.
No.
But they had like a separate vat for making vanilla flavoring for like Pepsi or something. It was like their little kosher vat, so it had to stay like kosher. It had to be like they couldn't like use anything else in it. So we were trying to like speed up their process, and that was kind of like a hindrance. The fact that this one thing was like only reserved for like this kosher vanilla flavoring. It's pretty interesting to like actually see that stuff behind the scenes, how all that kind of stuff works.
So, I've been drinking coffee a lot lately because, as like a person doing things, you need caffeine to get you all startled up and ready.
Allegedly.
Right. You don't actually need it. It's just like,
It's one of those things where like once you get like
Into it?
or like
Addicted
once your
to
body
it?
gets used to it, it's like
Yeah.
it was like back when
Addicted
you
to it?
were not drinking it or whatever.
Addicted to it.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
there
Sounded like Charlie
a
was
really
trying to
good-
dance around saying addicted because he
No,
doesn't.
I'm trying to say like once you start like drinking
Accustomed
it,
to
your
it.
body gets to a point where it's just like you were before you started drinking coffee.
Oh, I see
it
what
just
you're
doesn't do anything
Right.
anymore. You just
Yeah,
need it to
the,
function at that point.
Which is like the
There's a really
textbook like scaling of addiction.
No, yeah, you get addicted to caffeine. When I was coming back from mono at work for like 2 or maybe even 3 months straight, I had to drink like coffee every day just to keep myself propped up. And then when I like decided to stop, I definitely went through like caffeine
I've had
withdrawal for
caffeine
a few
withdrawal
days
before
there.
too.
It fucking sucks,
It's
but
not fun.
it wasn't bad enough to make me just want to drink coffee though.
no, it's just kind of annoying.
It just makes you have like a headache and you just feel like groggy and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been getting, what do they call it? It's a latte, so that's just like
It's a
steamed
latte?
milk.
Just milk.
It's a
Yeah, it's
latte
milk
as
and
opposed to
coffee.
a same.
Ah!
Sure. Yeah,
College jokes.
super good
Yeah,
stuff.
if you went to someplace like Italy and ordered a latte, they would just bring you hot milk. Whereas in like America, you can order a latte and it like comes with coffee or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like latte just means hot milk.
Yeah, it just means milk.
I'll have a latte coffee.
I think in
So-
Spanish, leche is milk.
Yep.
Yes. I'm actually Rosetta Stoning Spanish right now, and that is one of the 6 foods that I know.
And then
Manzana is like an apple, I think.
Is dulce de leche is caramel, right?
Probably.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what the dulce means or whatever. Dulce de leche.
Yeah, I did
Sweet,
really quick
I
though.
think.
I wanted to ask you
Sugary
guys,
milk.
how addicted are you like to coffee? Like,
None at
do
all.
either of you? Okay,
I
not at
drink
all.
it,
No,
but
I
I
don't drink it
I
anymore
don't-
after I stopped.
Like, do you not drink it anymore? Like, not even once a week?
If I'm like really tired, I might get a coffee, but no, I haven't had drank coffee regularly in like several months now.
Well, I had coffee like on Saturday, but that was just because
Actually,
I was
that
over
yeah,
at
that
someone's
was a lie. I
house,
think
and they're
a
like,
few
"What do you
days
want
ago,
to
I
drink?"
actually
And
had
I was
coffee.
like, "I don't know, I'll have some coffee, I guess." But I don't actually use it. Like,
Right.
I like the
I
way
don't
it
use
tastes more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drink it as like a comforting thing, and when I know like I'm gonna need some
I'm
caffeine.
so
like,
fat,
to...
but you
Yeah,
love
just-
me, don't you?
When I
Coffee?
would
Well,
get
that's
it,
why I
would,
get the latte, because it has no sugar added. You know, it's
Mhm.
not like
Well, then
Yeah, when-
black
when I
coffee
would-
doesn't have.
when I would
sugar
make
added
my
on it.
coffee, I would just put like 1 or 2 little cream things in it, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously milk has sugar, so it's not like no sugar is there, but it's less
Yeah.
than
It's
if you
no
had,
sugar
say,
added.
a
It's
mocha.
lactose. Yeah, it's different
Right.
kind of sugar.
Right.
But yeah, I think I've noticed that like I liked non-sugared coffee better. I think it's because like I developed a taste for like bitter beers, so like I can appreciate the flavors in a coffee much more or something.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I've never
sweet.
been able to drink black coffee and like just thoroughly enjoy it. It's
Oh,
always been,
really?
like a chore. Yeah, no, I don't like coffee. Like getting a latte is tough. Like,
Really?
It's not like tough because it's pretty good. The thing is, I'm noticing. Like just last week, I think I ordered my first latte like at Starbucks because my college is right next to one, so I just kind of have to.
Wait, your
And-
college is next to a Starbucks and not like some indie coffee shop?
Oh my god!
My
dude,
college
it's
had a
fucking-
Starbucks on campus.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like over here, there's a Starbucks
Oh,
on fucking every road.
that's true.
And there's one right off campus as well.
Yeah. But
There's
I
like
used to
4
get like
Starbucks around here.
I used to get like a thing of banana bread and the latte.
Oh, I
just
get
so
the
I could
banana
eat-
bread all the time. It's so good.
Yeah.
You guys are
Yeah,
such
it's
carpet
so good.
tools.
And then you eat the banana bread with the latte to make it sugary. But
Yeah, and
now
then
I'm
like,
starting to.
sugar, caffeine, blah.
Yeah. And
Dude,
then
have
I
you ever-
noticed, I started drinking the latte now. Like, I had the latte, I think, for the first time without the banana bread today, and it was like, okay, this is, like, not bad. It's not great. Like, I'm not going to suck it down, and it's really hot, too, so I wouldn't be able to, but
I'm
it's
say
not,
I'm not
great.
gonna
But
suck its dick. Like, it's
Suck
good,
it
but I'm not
down.
gonna suck its dick.
Have you ever gotten?
yeah,
a,
that, too.
have
I
you ever
like that
gotten a
better, actually.
mocha? Just a mocha.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I used to get, but then I looked it up and how much sugar it is, and
yeah,
it's, like,
it's-
fucking 40
yeah,
or 50
I always get
grams.
mocha. I'm assuming it's an insane amount.
Do you
of
not
sugar.
have
And I
like
always
a
get a
Keurig
tall.
or something?
A Keurig?
Dude,
Yeah.
those K cups are like atrocious for the environment.
Oh, I know. I don't have a Keurig, but I make all my coffee and just stick it in a thermos.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
I don't
work
know if
has
you
a
get-
Keurig.
Have you guys ever heard of a Chemex?
No.
I've heard
Okay,
of
so-
Rain-X. What you put on your windshield? To
I've heard of
rain bead.
Drano. I guess since we're all just saying things that aren't the things
I
that
know.
Kelsey's talking about.
Yeah. As you were saying, Kelsey.
So a Chemex is a way to make coffee. It's a pour over coffee maneuver system.
Oh, it
Tactical
sounds like
maneuver
a,
for
it
making
sounds
coffee.
like a drug from Fallout, like Rad-X or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a
it's
Chemex.
Chemex
it
is a
does.
drug.
Oh, Chemex is a drug in Fallout.
Yeah.
That's
Is it?
where I fucking.
Is
I
it?
have been so wondering where I
I
thought.
thought they just
I
called
had
them
it from.
chems.
Oh wait, yeah, you might be right. Chemex. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they just
Chemex
call
is
them
not a drug in
chems.
Fallout. You're
Oh,
right.
it's a
Rad-X
drug in
is
Fallout,
what
I
it
swear
is.
to God.
It's Rad-X or Med-X.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, Radix. And yeah, anyways, it's a pour over coffee technique to brew your coffee. And it's funny because I watch these YouTube videos and all the baristas are like, we use the word blooming. It's the blooming process when the anyways, it's really funny. Because they're way too into it.
And
It's
he
like
just
pour
shot
some
himself
hot
on
water
camera.
over some fucking coffee and put it in your gut and yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it. But
I agree.
It's supposed to be like way tastier because like less bitterness. Like bitterness definitely gets through, but it's supposed to be like a
What's
more
the
full.
process?
So if you type in CHEMEX, Chemex, you'll see it, and it's like this hourglass-looking one-piece glass thing. So you've got the top bit where you would normally put your coffee filter, and then you've got the bottom bit where it actually gets stored, the coffee. And the way you pour it is the coffee filter is so fine, I guess you would say. It's very, very thick kind of thing, to where the coffee you can pour over and it'll actually sort of cup and hold the water. And so you're brewing your coffee as you pour hot water over it. Anyways, it's like there's a whole process to it. But I want to get one because yeah, it's supposed to be like a way better.
How is this
tasting
different
coffee.
from the way that everyone else makes coffee?
Because it's you're actually brewing the coffee as the water is, like, you're actually cooking the coffee kind of thing. Instead of just pouring hot water through the coffee, the coffee is actually able to saturate the water and get sort of cooked.
So it's thicker, so it percolates more slowly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's thicker, exactly. So you're not just pouring water through the coffee, you're actually brewing
the warm water
coffee.
isn't going through the coffee and taking some of it with it.
It's like how you do tea, you know what I mean? How you immerse it. It's like that. But it's a little bit different, obviously.
Isn't a percolator just like sending hot water through the coffee the whole time or whatever? But
it's very much
really
like
brewing,
that.
Though.
But yeah, exactly. A percolator.
Would this be more similar to like putting coffee grinds in like water and boiling it on a stove or something?
Exactly. It'd be just like that, but then you have like a filter, and this is a really convenient way.
Yeah, I was gonna say then you have to get burned coffee shit off.
But that is essentially the process. So you're like brewing the coffee like you would tea. Anyways, it's supposed to make a yummy tasting coffee, and I want to get one eventually. But then I watched some TED videos about how coffee is like dead, basically the way we buy it, and you need to get like fresh coffee.
Oh yeah,
and then like roast it yourself, and then grind it yourself, and it's like, oh Jesus, I'm going down the rabbit hole of like.
Yeah, I mean it already comes roasted and stuff, which means it's
I know, but
been
it's like
cooked.
even.
But
if
that's
it's
not real,
packed,
Charlie. It's dead. It's zombie coffee.
Shut
basically,
the fuck up.
is what I heard. That's basically what I heard. Yeah, even if it's been vacuum sealed.
Yeah, that's what I hear when Kelsey says stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
The fucking peanut butter grinder.
Yeah.
I actually made a video
not grounded,
about that.
Sam. I saw it. He sent it to me.
Okay, I sent it to you, Andy. I never sent it to you, Charlie.
No, I
saw
it.
Oh, you did. Good.
He's just like, that's how we roll.
That's
and
how
I
we
was
roll.
so overcome with hatred for you. More than I've ever felt.
The idea. That made me feel happy. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about coffee a little bit because I'm definitely I'm getting into the addiction. And I've always not drinking coffee specifically because I know how people get so accustomed to it. And I saw an ASAP Science video about how coffee actually interacts with the brain and how it works. It's not good for you to get into the habit of drinking coffee. That's what I'm trying to get at.
No, I know. I think we all know this.
And I'm getting into the habit.
I think it has good. Lots of good antioxidants.
It does have a lot of antioxidants.
Right.
Well,
but at the same
depending.
time, the way it works with your brain is you can get so much. It's just like any other drug. You take enough of it, and you have to just keep taking more to get the same high.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it's basically how it works. It's very interesting. And you're kind of damaging your system. So, anyways, we have some more topics. Y'all's want to talk a boots? I think I have sucked enough juice from that World's Oldest Woman article. But it is interesting to hear, there was one article I read about an old woman. Try not to be sexual over here. And she said that, the reason she lived so long is because men weren't in her life. She just said, fuck you to men, basically.
Apparently
they weren't in her life?
Italian woman said that same thing.
She never really had, boyfriends, and, she never got married. She's just fuck men. They're terrible for you. They stress you out, and I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Maybe if they're the bibbity-boppity and child abuser stereotype men that we were talking about.
Yeah,
there was some other woman who was, over 100 who said, the same thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'd rather have, a shorter life with a lover than longer life.
'Tis better to have loved and lost
than lost and found.
Than lost and found coffee grounds.
I'd agree. It's like that statistic. You need sleep to keep living. Yeah, but if you live 80 years and you sleep how you should, that's 25 years you've been sleeping. So you've only lived 65. So there.
That's
Think about that.
amazing.
Actually, no,
I
that's
mean,
55.
technically, but
That doesn't make
it's not like your
any
body dies
sense
when
at
you
all.
sleep or whatever.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean, though.
I
It's
know what
like
you mean.
So
but it's-
fallacious.
I know what
Yeah,
you mean,
yeah,
but
it
like
is.
when people say stuff like that, it's like not time that you could realize anyway. So it's kind of just almost
Mhm.
like pointless to bring up.
Yeah. It's like you go to the gym.
Even
to
if
be
you live
healthy.
to 65, though, you're still going to be sleeping, and it's going to be miserable because you're not going to live to 65 if you only sleep 4 hours a night.
Yeah, basically. It's horrible for you.
People
Everybody sleep a lot.
sleep so much.
Sleep literally 20 hours
all
every day.
the time.
20
sleep
hours.
often.
We're not koalas here.
We're not
Pieces of
slads.
Shit.
Yeah, I think platypuses actually sleep that's a false statistic. They have the most REM sleep of any other mammal.
We've already talked about
Apparently.
this.
Even
I'm just
koalas sleep like 20
No, I
hours a
think
day,
we
don't
talked
they?
about that in the me and just you, Andy podcast.
Oh, it might
We
have
never
been.
actually LDR'd it.
Oh, did we not?
The one that never surfaced
The
from the depths of the
depths of duck rape.
conversation. Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Charlie
but
knows
anyways,
about it. He's aware.
Yeah, that's all that matters, right?
That's because
And then there's
platypuses
this-
are fucking the assassins of the universe.
And then I see this article that says drinking 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day can decrease heart attacks or lower the risk of heart attacks. And then I think that's only one side of the goddamn, of the cube of the coin. It's only looking at one pro of it. You're not looking at the
What does it say here?
the bad things.
Hmm.
Drinking coffee. What are you talking about? The one I just
Yeah.
linked? Yeah, 3 to 5 cups a day may lower risk of heart attacks. And what I'm trying to say
That's
is
a
that's
lot
not
of
looking
fucking
at the big
coffee.
picture.
That is a lot
it
of
is a lot of
fucking
coffee.
coffee. You're right.
Even in the peak of my mono, let's see, 16 plus 12 is 28. So
Good job.
that's like 3.5 cups of coffee a day that I used to drink.
Dang.
That was on
Goddamn.
that was on bad days though.
You
I mean,
drink coffee because of work?
No, that was when I was recovering from the mono and had no energy
Why were you drinking coffee?
Yeah.
to give myself
To
energy.
suck it all out of his system.
But if you were sick and like recovering and just sleeping all day, why would you be drinking coffee?
No, this was when I was back at work. I was past the
Okay.
the peak stage of the illness or whatever.
I did ask, were you at work
yes,
initially, and you said no, I wasn't. So that's
No.
why I said that.
Oh, then I must have been thinking of something else. I was at work.
Yeah.
Charlie, get your
I
head
was
in the
on
game.
I was on like a gnarly steroid when I was having mono that gave me energy.
We're on the air.
Yeah. Mono doesn't sound.
No, I've never had it, and I
Doesn't
hopefully
sound
never
good.
will.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
had like a slight relapse of it because I like hiked too hard this past weekend, so that kind of sucked. But I think it's better. now.
Hiking too hard. Da, 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 da.
I'm gonna interrupt Andy's glorious song and saying I've never had chicken pox and I kind of fear shingles.
Nor have I. Well, what?
Well, I got the vaccine.
Why would you
Because
fear
apparently-
shingles if you've never
I-
had chicken
I'm-
pox?
Because apparently there's evidence that supports the idea or whatever you want to call it, the idea that if you haven't had chicken pox, you have a higher risk of getting shingles.
No, it's the other way around.
You only get
Yeah.
shingles because you
Yeah,
have chicken pox
exactly.
in you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's why
Yeah,
I was like,
I'm
what are
happy.
you talking about?
It's like
I don't
got
know.
a chicken pox vaccination.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Vaccines.
But I mean,
Fuck 'em, right?
Yeah. No. I was like fearing the wrong thing. If you get chicken pox at a later age,
No, if you
Of
get
course,
chicken pox as a
obviously.
kid, you can get shingles at a later
no.
age.
But I know. But if I've never had chicken pox and I get it at a later age, it's like way scarier.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
heard that
think
as well.
if you're properly vaccinated and you're not some sort of crazy anti-vaxxer, you probably should never get chicken pox.
Yeah, but if you were to get it, it's like
yeah,
way
sure, if you were to
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, definitely.
because apparently people only get it like once.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
For the majority.
You
So if you get it as a
become
child, it's easier to recover from that. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
It's
and
the
if
same
you-
with mono.
If
when
you get it as a child, you're more than likely going to get shingles at one point.
I think it's like a 33% chance of getting shingles, roughly, or something.
Which is, for me, that's a lot.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah. Anything more than like 6% is significant for me.
Yeah.
We are 3D printing fucking crackers right now.
Apparently, if you get mono as a child, it only acts like a cold, and you don't get that crazy shit like teenagers and young adults
What?
do.
Yeah. What do you get with mono, Charlie? Tell me about that.
All right, so mono is just like a reaction to like getting the Epstein-Barr virus
Okay.
I think there are other things that can cause mono, but the Epstein-Barr virus is what causes it a grand majority of the time.
Okay.
So if you get it as a kid, like prepubescent, I believe, then it just acts like a cold.
Huh.
But then if you're like maybe 14 or up or something around there, then it like you get the whole ridiculous reaction to it. Your body basically just overreacts and your lymph nodes go crazy.
Huh. I've heard a lot about lymph nodes, and I have no idea what those are.
They're
I think they
in
clean
here,
up
aren't they?
their waste removal system or something.
Oh, in your body?
Is that right?
Are you? No.
Probably. Sounds legit.
I'd believe it. Let me look it up.
Yeah, oh, it's such a weird gif. I need to not look at that.
Lymphatic system.
So, yeah, this 3D printed
Oh, they're
cracker,
everywhere. They're in your neck.
Yeah, your tonsils.
They're in your body.
I want to talk about this 3D printed
Oh
cracker.
my god. Why isn't this
Because-
just called the Kelsey Show, where Kelsey does what he wants?
Because it is called that. I
The main
guess. I don't
function
know.
is
It's a
defense of
subtitle.
the immune system.
What's it printed out of?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, it builds a cracker-like structure made with seeds, spores, and yeast. In 3 to 4 days, when the seeds and spores have fully sprouted, it's snack time. So they.
I
like,
want a
put seeds in
snack
the
so
cracker.
bad.
That sounds like a highly inefficient way.
Too
to make
bad I
food.
didn't start 3 to 4 days ago.
Yeah, that is funny. You'd have to get like on a perpetual sort of
Right. You'd have to
assembly.
go for 3 days without it, and then you'd be good.
Right.
Yeah,
and then you're good.
That sounds pretty inefficient to me. It's a lot more efficient to like make a fuck ton of crackers in like one factory than to have like a bunch of other
Exactly, yeah.
things make crackers.
And to grow your own.
Yeah, this one says, quote, Edible Growth is exploring how, and this is a company, Edible Growth, I think, how 3D printing could transform the food industry. Roosevelt explains in this above video. Okay, well, a lot of people think industrialized production methods are unnatural or unhealthy. See, that's interesting because if you're building things out of, like, natural substances and they're only accumulating what would be found in the natural environment, isn't that kind of like organically creating food? Because you're not making artificial.
You're starting to get
ingredients.
into the point where you got to be like, well, everything's fucking natural. It's all like
Yeah.
found in the same.
It's all
not like
manipulated
it's
from
true.
the same
It's not like we're
organic
creating matter
process.
or whatever. So
Right.
it's just like
Neither
whenever I
copy
hear stuff
created
like
nor
that,
destroyed.
whenever I hear stuff like that, I just think scientifically illiterate.
Mm-hmm.
Scientifically illiterate.
Which is everyone, because that's how science works.
You can't do that.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
That
to say
creates
that
a common
you saying,
level that means that there's no point in learning science because everyone's
No, no, no.
scientifically illiterate.
Saying just the term saying scientifically illiterate is sort of backwards because science seeks to sort of destroy itself and to like improve on itself. So saying scientifically illiterate's like, you know,
Well,
you're
maybe
saying,
maybe the ideas that science discovers, but science is not what gets modified.
Oh yeah, no,
the basal
actual,
method of like the scientific,
yeah, like the scientific
theory and
method,
stuff is
right.
stays the same.
Yeah, that's true. Unless it doesn't. Because of quantum physics. Oh, another amazing podcast I've been listening to is called The Infinite Monkey Cage. And it's these British chaps talking about
Oh, that's
quantum
Brian
physics and
Cox,
stuff.
isn't it?
Yes. Have
I
you
love
heard
Brian
about him?
Cox. I've seen
That's
his
an amazing-
documentaries, The Wonders of the Solar System and Wonders of the Universe.
I didn't even know he made those. I'm going to watch the shit out of those.
Yeah,
Oh my
they're-
god, those are so good though.
He has one on like fusion power. It's pretty cool.
I enjoy them more than Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson because they like, first of all, they never get interrupted with like breaks from fucking sound, or what the hell is that one website?
Well, their
created?
show is made in Britain, and Britain doesn't have
It's
commercials.
BBC. It's BBC. Yeah.
America has commercials. That's how we fund our shit.
Well, how does BBB? How does BB? Oh, goddamn.
King?
How do they
BBC.
fund their
BB
shit?
King for
Government.
being a blues musician.
The government funds art, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Wish,
Yeah, because like
wish-
Top Gear, when they air it in Britain, is like an hour long. They don't have like commercials in it like American when they show it on America or whatever.
So the government kind of like invests in it, and then
Yeah,
it makes enough money
subsidizes
for
it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So they're not just going to be like throwing money at like people like me. Like, I've got a Panasonic GH3. Can you give me 10 grand so I can make a documentary?
I have
about...
this idea for a podcast,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
about three
exactly how it
guys.
works, but I know it's government
and
funded.
they're all terrible, but people like them.
Oh,
Can I have money?
Yeah, what else were you saying, Kelsey?
I have no idea.
Is that it? I just wanted to know if that was it before I went to somewhere else.
Please do.
Shit, what the fuck was I just gonna say?
That's what happens when you don't write it down.
That's what happens when I try to be courteous and see if you're done with your topic.
Fuck Kelsey.
Just interrupt me. I don't have a problem with being interrupted. That's the best thing about the podcast is please do interrupt me.
Fuck.
Oh, wow.
Got it.
Was it science-y?
I don't even remember.
All we ever talk about is science. What about
This has been a very
literature?
science-y podcast.
What about fucking...
Hey, Andy, guess what? We could be talking about literature, but you don't want to bring that up, do you? So we're not talking about it. If you want to bring that up, then bring it up. Bring it up, man. Bring it up.
Okay.
Bring it up right now. Talk about literature.
You ever read the Bible?
I have. I've gotten a few pages through it, and then I put it down because I was like, boy, is this dense.
You mean the good book?
The good book, yeah.
The holy book.
I don't think I've ever read one page of the Bible in my life.
Really?
I think I've read a page.
You
maybe
guys are
2 or
just
3.
ignorant. No wonder you're atheists.
Yep, basically.
Agnostic, thank you.
I'm a
Yeah,
soft
see, agnostic is just like it's just like half-assing it.
It's like being Sweden.
right, you know.
It's like being Sweden.
Or is it
What
Norway?
does that mean?
It's neutral. Who's the neutral?
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're not deciding.
You're just like, yeah, I
just
don't know.
know.
Could be.
It's the scientific posture.
I think so. I
God.
think it's more scientific than atheism.
Oh, just as another side note, I have been eating so much sriracha lately. I just wanted to
really?
say that. Oh my god, it's amazing.
I discovered I only used it for my chicken nuggets.
Yeah. I actually got chicken tenders and mixed it with barbecue sauce, and it was the best thing I've ever eaten. Not really, but still,
Andy
it was
is just
amazing.
SMHing right now.
Yeah. Andy's not happy. Dude,
oh,
sriracha's great.
It's
Sriracha
not
fat.
terrible. It's you guys just
It's
get
so
so
good.
excited over the littlest things.
One time Kelsey
and I
made
can't tell if I'm jealous or just bored.
One time I made sriracha buffalo wings, and those were pretty good.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Sriracha is good
It's
with
fucking
everything.
spicy as shit, though.
I think I said it in the last
really
podcast.
not.
Actually, I did, so I'm not going to say it. But sriracha's amazing. It
Andy is having none of this.
I know. Just because you don't like it, Andy,
I do
must have had
like
a-
it.
Oh,
I just don't want to take it to bed and fuck its brains out.
I never said I wanted to do that, man.
It sounds like you do.
Well, maybe that's what I was implying, but no one's saying I do want to do that. God, that bacon looks good.
I think you're saying it.
topic before this podcast runs out.
What'd you say?
I hope I remember what I was trying to talk about
Yeah.
before
Never.
the podcast.
To me, that's like missing a sneeze. It's like the least satisfying thing possible.
You know? And
You just feel it coming, and then it's like gone.
I saw some sciencey article that says you can't think about it or else you'll never think of it. You just got to keep going
Yep.
on. It'll pop back soon or something.
Yeah, there was an episode of Mad Men that talked about that a little bit. Not really.
Why are they
A little
so angry?
Have you guys watched Mad Men at all?
No.
A little bit.
So good. It's such a good show. Haven't watched it in years, but
It's
a
about-
good show.
Ad people, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mad
in the
Men.
60s.
As in ad men.
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
Don Draper. He's in that show, right?
He is. He smokes. He fucks. He lies. He sucks him.
He sucks.
Sounds like Charlie.
Whoa, hey, getting political.
Whoa.
Getting political.
Oh, I think it was something that had to do with politics.
It's coming back.
Keep
It's
going. Keep going.
coming back. What's your favorite food?
I was
Andy?
thinking the same thing.
Were you?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I was. I was gonna ask Kelsey what his favorite. I was thinking of Oreos. I was gonna ask him what his favorite.
Oreos are amazing, but I
Oh.
don't fucking dip anything in
I
I
think
milk.
hate
earlier I wanted
Oreos
to-
because 2 Oreos is like a serving, and that's never fucking happened.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up that Oreos are vegan, but Chips Ahoy are not.
Oh my god.
Because Oreos don't have milk in them. That's how fucking shitty they
That's
are.
what I was gonna say. That's not a good thing. We're vegan. We don't have milk. Isn't one of your ingredients literally cream? Well, technically,
Yeah, but not
technically-
actually.
Sugary sweet
it's a
paste and not
cream-like
cream.
substance.
Yeah, the serving size is 3 cookies.
I don't know
think I
what
just-
my favorite food
That's like
is.
trying to eat like a scoop of a pint or like a scoop of a half pint of Ben and Jerry's.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
No, I know. I get
Yeah.
you.
You always
But,
got to go for like a quarter of a tub at once or something.
I almost ate an
Yeah.
entire tub yesterday.
Oh my
I've done
God.
it before, and it's like the worst feeling thing.
Isn't it the
Amazing.
worst? I made an
Ever.
omelet, and I don't know why I keep making omelets because
With ice cream?
no, fucking listen. I made the omelet, and I don't know why I keep making them because every time I make an omelet, after I eat it, I feel like shit. Like eggs are so gross. Why did I eat that? And the only
God,
thing
eggs are amazing.
I-
I love eggs.
I know I do too, but after
Why do you feel that
omelets
way?
specifically, I just feel like
Wha-
queasy.
What do you put in your omelets?
Yeah,
Is
what
it
do
the
you
actual
put in
eggs,
there?
or
Yeah,
do you overcook
no.
them? Do you not cook them enough?
I don't know. It's just I think it's the consistency of the omelet. How it's like
Yeah, well, you gotta overcook it.
you have to overcook it.
Got to
Well, I mean-
Americanize it, overcook it.
Yeah, you gotta cook it more. If it's kind of thing, then you
Oh
need to cook
God,
it more.
no! Ew. Obviously not. No,
it's pretty hard to like undercook an omelet because you won't be able to flip it if it's not cooked properly.
Yeah.
True,
But
but you can still because the inside will be gooey. You know what I mean?
That's
I
true.
hate that. I hate gooey eggs.
Anyway.
Get your gooey fucking eggs out of here.
oh fucking hell. The point is, I ate that. I felt sick. I had like a pint of ice cream in my freezer. I was like, this will take away the pain.
No,
So
it won't.
so I ate like
Yeah.
3/4 of it, and I was like, what have I done?
Oh my God!
It
What
was
flavor
cookie
was it for
dough.
posterity.
I blacked out.
Isn't it amazing that that's how our brains work? We're like, oh, we feel awful. Go eat this
Drown it
200
in
grams
sorrow.
of sugar.
Yeah. Can only make it worse.
Yeah.
Can only make
It's
it
all
worse.
uphill from here.
It's all downhill from here. My favorite food's pizza.
Oh, is it really?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
Without-
can't say it isn't.
Without thinking
I would
too
say
hard.
my favorite
Good pizza.
style of
Pizza.
food is sushi.
Ugh.
Yeah, I've never like eaten sushi and just been like absolutely
Good choice.
enthralled by it.
Yeah.
Like sushi is good.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
but
I've
it's
been,
not.
I've
it's
been,
never been.
I've been eating it since I've been eating other food, basically. So it's just something I've just known my whole life.
How weird.
I haven't had to be introduced to
Your
it.
parents
if
are
you
just
will.
shoving sushi in your face as a
Yeah.
kid.
Wait, how long have you been eating it?
As long as I can remember.
Oh, okay. So like your parents were all up into it.
No,
and
he
stuff,
just
or-
really
Yeah.
has a bad memory and it's been like a month.
Charlie is secretly short-term memory loss. Ian.
Ing.
What was that
So-
noise?
There's a really weird. Oh, it's called Soylent. Thank you. Soylent. I
Did
don't know
you
if
just
you guys have heard
soil
about it.
yourself?
No,
No.
Soylent Green like it's made out of people.
Yes, exactly. And it's a food substitute. It's this thing that you add with water, you mix it up, you make a big old jug of it, and then you eat that for the day. So you make like, a big jug of it and then you pour it into your thing and you eat that throughout the day.
Yeah.
And it's all of the everything that a human body needs
All of the everything.
Sounds
to
like something
sustain
I'd say.
itself. Yeah, look, I'm simplifying it, okay? I'm trying to simplify it. And it's affordable. It's like a really good deal, and it's not. I guess it doesn't taste.
Tastes like
all
shit,
that
I
good.
imagine.
It's supposed to taste like nothing.
That's
actually.
bullshit. It
And
tastes
by
like
that, I
shit, I
actually-
almost
and-
can guarantee
And
you.
by yeah, but I actually mean like nothing. And all the ingredients are just like minerals and nutrients and vitamins, things that your body needs. And it's perfectly like. It gives you just what you need, but then you can go on createmyownsoylent.com, and then you can add certain amounts of something depending on, like your height, your weight, like what you want to do, if you want to lose, gain calories, and that they give you, it's really cool is what I'm trying to get at.
So basically what you're saying is you're creating sort of a situation where you can eat healthily and cost efficiently, but you don't get to enjoy
and
the
quickly,
shittiness
too.
and quickly, but you don't get to enjoy the shittiness of greasy pizza
Yes.
or like greasy hamburgers or something. That's a very
yeah, the point
interesting
is that this will
conundrum.
give you enough calories you need and like everything else, but you can have like 2/3 of your Soylent and then go eat pizza. You know what I mean? So it's interesting in that regard, but it's very cost effective if I understand right. Like it says, spend less than $10 per day on food, less than $4 per meal. So that's pretty darn good. And you also have to realize that you don't have to think about what you're eating because it's all there. You don't have to make conscious decisions, which is kind of, like we should all be able to do that. But I mean,
now
it's
you don't
hard.
have to. Welcome to
No,
America.
you don't have to. You save time. I'm literally like reading the website. I'm like an advocate.
I was gonna say you're selling it to me.
in my
Basically,
life.
is what's happening.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like a drink though. You have to you need to eat like solid mass to some degree.
Nah,
But
bullshit.
it's not an actual drink. It's like a smoothie. It's like a thick sort of substance.
This just sounds like the worst.
Yeah, I get bored of food very quickly, so I don't know if I'd be able to do this for any
Yeah, well,
extended period of time.
that's what I kind of want to ask is like, do you think you do it? I mean,
I'd
you
do
guys
it,
can
yeah.
probably type it in yourself. Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely try it. I'll link it to you. But like 1 week is $85, 2 weeks is $155, 4 weeks is $300, and if you think about that, $300 for a month of meals, and that's just one person.
That's $10 a day.
That's
$3 a
day.
meal.
Right. That seems like, I don't know, man.
Seems like a
I
deal.
mean, if it isn't horrible and I don't want to like murder myself every day because I'm so bland in what I'm eating, I mean, I feel like what I would do probably is get like a 2,000 calorie thing, and then because I definitely can eat more than 2,000 calories, I just like supplement it with other yummy snacks throughout the day, and still be able to get all the nutrition I need. But it's interesting because, is this kind of the future of what people eat, you think? Or will this ever come into play, like anything like this? Because, it's a really good idea, I think, to not even have to think about the...
I don't think it'll ever... Well, I mean, I can't say ever, but I don't think anytime soon it'll come into play just because of how tied up everything is. Like, the fast food industry creates really cheap food that's terrible for you, which benefits the medical industry because then they can prescribe really expensive medicine.
Oh, dude, there was this really awesome like 2-minute TED talk, and this guy just mentioned a whole bunch of weird cultural differences throughout our world, and he mentioned in China there are doctors, and maybe it was Japan, there are doctors that only charge you when you are healthy,
Yeah, I've heard
and
about
when you
those.
get sick,
Yep, it's free.
they don't charge you because they failed at their job.
Exactly, yep.
That is so good.
It's the best form
so
of medicine,
good.
yeah.
That was mind blowing.
Yeah, no, I've heard that before.
That's amazing.
But,
yeah, I thought that was
you know what I
great.
mean? If everybody's healthy, how are they going to make, like, billions of dollars off of Lipitor and shit like that?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's
So,
also
not
just
good for
American
capitalism.
pharmaceutical big pharma.
That's,
just like
yeah, that's true.
very fucked up in this country. It doesn't act like that in other industrialized nations.
Well, I was thinking centrically to America, as I always am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As we all should, probably, because it's our demographic, no doubt.
Yeah, we use so many fucking prescription drugs in this country. Like,
I actually just listened to a really cool radio lab all about worth, and that there are drugs that people can take for different things, just different drugs if you're unhealthy for whatever reason, to like cure a disease or to help with cancer, and they're so expensive. Like it's like $1,000 for one pill, and it's like a 12-month program.
Yeah.
And it's like the question kind of is, because obviously you can't afford that, so it'd be like the government paying for it or like insurance or something. What's it worth to like live another year?
Yeah.
Like how much money would you pay to live another year? And it was kind of an interesting question, I thought, because it is amazing how much money they can make off of these things.
It's insane. One of the other things that's interesting is tests have shown that name brand medication, while it's chemically the same, works more. It works more effectively.
Oh, then like cheaper knockoffs of the same.
Even though they're the exact
okay.
same medication.
is that like?
It's like
And they-
psychosomatic.
Yeah, but
effects.
so they tested it to have like the brand name on it when people took it or whatever.
Right, and there was
Oh.
significant.
So they were
wow.
purposefully making it that way.
Mhm,
like
yeah,
the-
it was a research design.
The placebo effect or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's interesting. That is really cool. I remember finding out about the placebo thing in like the episodes of Mythbusters where they were like testing if people would get sick, and they'd give them like unsickness pills, and then they'd give people like honey pills, just like sugar tablets.
Yeah, it's a placebo.
and then
basically.
it was just really interesting because the honey pills actually worked sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
It was
There's
really silly.
Healthcare Triage has a good video that describes the placebo effect in detail.
Triage.
It's amazing though how easily the mind, or maybe I don't know if it's necessarily how easily the mind, just how powerful, our deceptions can mislead us into really not even believing, but also like being something different, just because our perceptions are mangled with or whatever.
I
I mean, like your mood and like the chemical makeup
balance
of your
of you.
brain at a certain time really
I mean,
affects
part of
how
that
you
ties all
feel.
the way back into quantum physics, though. With
Does
Well,
it?
at this scale, all those effects get
particle
averaged
wave interaction, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of subjectivity to the particle wave thing.
Yeah.
But it
I mean,
does
that
show
stuff- that-
at its
that
very
stuff all gets-
basis that there is some subjectivity in the building blocks of the universe.
Yeah, that all gets averaged out when you come up to this scale, though.
Oh, yeah, that's
Because
what I'm
it's so
saying.
super big or
Right.
small.
Yeah, it has no effect on this scale.
Right. It's not something we can apply to like directly ourselves to help
Exactly.
with like medicine and stuff.
Yeah.
But it will help us when we need to travel through wormholes to save the human race.
It'll
By
help us when we
saving
need
the
to make
whales.
quantum computing.
Quantum computing. Can you talk about that for 5 minutes?
Oh,
Because that sounds
boy.
amazing.
I feel like I don't know
I've
enough
never.
about
I don't
it.
think I've ever heard about that.
That's supposed to be like the next wave in computing or whatever.
Thank you, Andy.
So
welcome.
basically, like, I think it would involve, instead of having a binary system, it would be like a tertiary system at least or something like that. So you'd have much more positions for switches. So you'd have the ability to send a lot more data at once. And
Oh.
it would also, along that line of quantum computing, you'd have quantum encryption, which would be impervious to any kind of breaking ever.
Bullshit.
Because
That's interesting.
because that comes down to the double slit experiment, where if you measure the particle, so like have you heard of the double slit experiment, Kelsey?
This is the thing I was
have
talking
not
about.
even heard about it.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
once.
this is so you have like a very small slit. I think it's like
2
on
slits,
the
isn't
order
it?
of like, yeah, it's on the order of like the wavelength of the light you're shining through it or something like that. So you have 2 slits that are right next to each other, and when you shoot light through it, and you don't measure it, you just shoot light through it, it interferes with itself and acts as a wave. So it's analogous to like seeing like a wave of water going through here. You see like ripples come out, and you get like bars along like this back projection screen that the light passes through. But if you decide to start measuring the particles, they start behaving like an individual particle is coming
particles.
through, and then you only see 2 bands of light on the other side. So
Yeah.
so basically that all ties into the fact that if you measure it, you change what is
it
being
is.
sent. So if you were to listen to someone's quantum encryption key, you would in effect alter the message, and there'd be no way for someone to like steal that without you noticing.
So it's like the old philosophical thing where it's like you can never step into the same river twice.
Oh.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
So if you try to tap into someone's message, it will alter
Like
the
that's how
message.
that's how detailed it is kind of like the simple idea, because it's so like detailed. Any sort of change to it is like quantifiable. Like
No,
like,
it's
if you
just
were to get a
related to the
message
fact
on a-
that in quantum mechanics, okay, so the basis for quantum mechanics is that you never know where a particle is going to be. You just have a distribution. It's all statistics. You have like there's a probability it'll appear in like each spot. Like there's a probability that a particle could randomly end up on the other side of the universe, albeit very small. That probability still exists. So you never know where a particle is until you measure it, and then once you measure it, then it's like you lose other information about it. So like, let's say for example that position and speed are like the 2 things you can know about like a particle.
Okay.
So like you can know its speed, but you can't know its position, or you can know its position, but you can't know its speed. That's kind of like the thing that goes on with it at that basic level.
It's kind of
So,
like oh, go ahead.
So like tying back into the quantum computing thing, if you were to tap into someone's communications, you would be in effect measuring those communications. So you would change what you can know about the system. So it would literally like change the data that was being transmitted. So you would know that someone was like listening into your conversation, because it wouldn't like pass the checksums and those like verification things.
Right. Like, yeah, I mean, it's just like way more detailed, right? Is what you're saying? Like, it can actually.
It's not even more detailed. It fundamentally
It's not about
changes
detail, it's
the
just how
way
about-
that
it's just-
the encryption process works.
Right, like it's able to be aware of more, is what I'm trying to
It's
say.
almost like the process is self-aware.
Yeah, it's not that it's aware, it's just that it's quantum in nature. It just means like when you measure a particle in quantum, you lose information about that particle.
Okay, so you're getting. I see what you're saying. You're getting back down to the measuring of the particle.
Yeah, so
and
like
how it-
you can't.
So you can't interact with it without changing it.
Yeah, like if you wanted to observe an effect in the quantum world, if you try and measure it, you're going to skew your data just because you're measuring it. Just the fact of measuring it alters how it behaves.
That makes it a bitch to do anything.
Yeah.
Surely.
It does,
So basically with quantum encryption, if you like look at it, basically it changes what's happening. So like no one could listen into it.
Right, so
So-
you're applying the kind of like laws and rules of that to a computing scenario.
Yeah, so it would be impervious to breaking.
Well, that's probably going to be a badass Skype call once that gets developed.
Sounds you can't. Yeah, we'll all be like 300 years old because of future
Yeah.
medicine. You guys hear they finally
sure.
cracked that whole quantum encryption thing? And Charlie will be dead because let's face it, he lives an unhealthy tombstone lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true.
I just had one the other day.
Oh God, why?
So yeah, I probably
Why?
skewed something about that explanation, but
You got.
I mean,
the
I
gist
legitimately-
of it, I think.
Yeah,
I
I
understand
got
what
very
you're saying.
little from it, but I think that it did actually pry open my brain a little bit more. And any small amount is like, it's a keeper in my opinion. Any little increase of the brain is amazing. Oh wow, I'm happy we don't have the face cams for you, Andy, because that would be bad.
what were you just doing? I missed it. I was reading the
He was
Wikipedia
just-
article
he
on
was-
quantum
He's
computing.
having a fun time.
Just playing with my tongue.
Yeah, he's doing the taco. All right, so yeah, it's a lot better to have a conversation about quantum mechanics with someone than just hearing about it, because I mean, obviously with anything, when you're passively hearing something and just going by, you don't actually interact with it, but because I mean, I got a hell of a lot more from that than I ever have from like listening to a podcast about it, which is amazing that you even can have a grasp. Like I know someone that has a grasp on that, which is awesome. So
Yeah,
good.
That's crazy.
Thanks for
famous-
existing, Charlie.
Who is he?
all the famous physicists like to say if someone tells you they understand what quantum mechanics is or like how it works,
Right.
then they're lying.
Yeah, then they're lying exactly because he can't, or at least not yet.
It's just
They're
it's not. We don't
lying.
grow up in a world where things are quantum. We grow up in a Newtonian world, and we expect things to behave predictably.
Nuka-Cola.
Right.
Quantum.
And it's only predictable in the relative sense of where we are, right?
It's
Like, the
predictable
points.
because it's on such a massive scale that all the quantum effects are averaged out.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
They don't.
Totally.
The quantum effects don't exist on our scale.
When were quantum mechanics and all that amazing stuff? When was that like discovered, or when was it starting to get talked about
The
more?
After the
1910s.
electron microscope,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that was all British stuff. That was when the Brits were at the peak of their physics stuff.
Yeah.
Doing all that British physics.
Britain.
That's
quantum
that's
quantum mechanics is by far probably one of the most important discoveries of all of mankind that never gets any acknowledgement for it.
My God.
Well, now I think it is.
Like
because
none of
we've
the
got particle
electronics that we have would
accelerators and
work
stuff.
without an understanding of quantum mechanics.
Sounds like a bigger conversation.
A little bit.
Indeed.
A little tiny bit. This is why we need to get like Neil on. It's like, hey bud, how are you doing?
I wonder how much
Yeah.
it costs to book him for an appearance.
I don't know, man. That guy just seems like such a nice guy. I feel like I could like Twitter him and he'd be like, well, I can book you in a year and we'll do a good 20-minute conversation.
And then you
I mean, I feel like
die
it's possible.
from like,
Yeah, I would.
heart attack.
Like what's stopping me is me, not him. if you can.
He just sits in his
behind
house
that.
like, gosh, I wish there was a young boy named Kelsey I could hang out with. Maybe two of his friends, one of them an asshole, the other one named... I'm not going to finish that. It was going to be
I
Charlie.
was gonna say, who are you calling an asshole now?
It was going to be
It
Charlie, but
Yeah, I thought it was. Not too much to cover after quantum mechanics. It's all kind of a step down from that, I would say.
thanks,
To some
Charlie.
degree.
Interesting.
Thanks
though.
for wrapping
Yeah,
up
you're
the
welcome.
show and totally stealing everyone's thunder.
Yeah, no, that was great.
It was fun.
If you're gonna steal the thunder, steal the fucking quantum mechanics because that is good. I don't know. I think we're good to wrap it up because again, that's like the driest yet most amazing subject ever. But
Source 2.
oh yeah. Oh.
Next time.
Oh, gosh.
Next time.
Yeah, we should. I
Cliffhanger.
know
Suck it,
so
nerds.
little about it. That's my problem.
Shut up. No,
That is going to be good.
There's so much time for this.
Yeah, I think they've only announced it.
What, like a week ago or something?
Less than that.
It's just in the fact that it's only been announced. There hasn't been anything
Yeah.
else revealed about it.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, in the next episode, we will maybe remember to talk about Source 2 at some point.
I'll
in
make
the
a
2
note.
hours. Thank you very much for listening, and
thanks, guys.
Groovatronic.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you for being here, guys.
Hasta lasagna.
Shut up.
Fucking Charlie.
Charlie Murphy.
Chazly. Everybody knows I'm Chazly.